Hey, what's going on, my friend? This is Matthew Hamill with Local Contractor Blueprint, and today's video is about sales strategies and tips and tricks on how to close the sale when you're doing an in-home appointment consultation, especially for the remodeling niche, right? But this would apply to anybody else if you're doing in-home appointments. The first thing that I really want to touch on today is going to be mindset, right? And this video is going to be me going over things that I do, right? I'm not going to give you some theory. I'm going to tell you what I do and what works for me. You can take it as it is. You can take it and tweak it to your liking, to your business, to your niche. But this is exactly what I do. So the first thing is mindset. So when a new lead comes in, right, I treat them as though they're already closed. I treat them as if I've already won the sale, I've won their business. And I'm literally, when I schedule the appointment, I'm literally there just to take their order, right? Kind of like when you drive up to a fast food restaurant, you're in line. Essentially, you being in line, you've closed the sale, right? Now you're just there for somebody else to take your order, to give you what you want, and that's that. And that's how I treat it. That's how I look at it. That's my vision on it, is they're already closed. I'm just here to take their order. So that's my mindset, right? And for me, it's a confidence booster. I have a ton of certainty when I walk into that person's house, so I don't look like I'm desperate. I don't look like I'm trying, to hard sell anybody. It creates for me a very relaxed attitude, a very relaxed demeanor, and a very relaxed environment, because unfortunately contractors have a bad reputation across the board. It doesn't matter who you are, they just have a bad reputation. So if I walk in confident like that, knowing that they're already closed and that I'm just here to take their order, right? They're relaxed as well. If I'm relaxed, they're relaxed. They're just going to reflect off of you. So that's my mindset. That's how I walk into a consult. Now, the second thing is you really want good marketing. If you've watched any of the other videos that I've put up, you'll know what kind of marketing we do. We do content marketing, value-based marketing, and we do marketing in such a way that positions us as being the experts and leaders in the industry that we're in, right? We put out valuable content that grabs people at the intersection of research and purchase versus grabbing them at the point of they're looking for a contractor because they've figured everything out, right? Once they're looking for the contractor, especially if you're getting leads from HomeAdvisor, from Porch, I think the red beacon thing from Home Depot, or any other lead provider that sells the same lead to 5 or 10 other contractors, you better believe that you're not making any money on that job. You're going to barely be able to cover your costs and really not make any profit, because at that point, that person is shopping based upon price and not value. So you're racing to the bottom in order to close that deal. So good marketing will help to avoid all of that headache and will keep them from shopping you against other contractors, because the marketing has already set you up as being the leader and expert in the industry. Now you just need to show up and close the deal, right? So good marketing, gotta have it. All right, so number 3, this is basic, man. Number 3 is grooming. You wanna look good, smell good. Do not look like a contractor when you walk into that place, right? Here's how I dress. I walk in with either nice pair of jeans or nice shorts, right? We do a lot of work in country clubs out here, high-end, high-rise buildings, downtown LA, Hollywood, Santa Monica. We deal with a higher-end clientele down here. So I wear a nice pair of jeans or a nice pair of shorts depending on the weather, right? And then I'll wear a nice button-down shirt every single time. I don't wear t-shirts at all. This is just me. This is how I roll. Make sure the shirt fits, right? If you're a bigger guy, if you're a little overweight, that's fine, but just make the shirt fit. Don't buy a big shirt to try to hide the fact that you're a bigger guy. Just wear a shirt that fits. It looks better. When you buy a shirt that doesn't fit, you look like a slob. So make sure it fits, please. But yeah, a nice button-down shirt, no stains on it, make sure it's clean, and crease the sleeves, right? And for me, I roll them up, just 2 rolls, right? I unbutton the cuff and I roll them up 2 rolls. That's how I roll. You can wear it all the way down, you can roll them up a little bit, doesn't matter, but make sure it's clean and you got creases in the sleeves and you'll be fine. The other thing is make sure you've bathed. I know this is basic, but please do it, because I've seen a ton of contractors make these basic mistakes. Make sure you take a shower before every consultation. Deodorant, please use soap while you're showering. Deodorant, wash your hair, make sure that shit's good, right? This is just basic. And then when you get out, put your deodorant on, put some lotion on, right? Arms, legs, put some lotion on. It's not gonna hurt you. And then cologne. I do one spray of cologne right on the neck. One spray. I don't want to smell like I'm drowning in it. I don't want to smell like a cheap whore, right? You want to spray some cologne, just one spray, to make sure that you smell amazing, right? And that's how you show up to your consult. So we've got mindset, we've got good marketing. Now we've got, first impression on your appearance, right? Make sure it's flawless. Now, number 4, your appointment time. Contractors have a huge reputation for saying, I'll be there between 2 and 5, or 2 and 7, or 2 and midnight, or whatever, right? Set an appointment that you know you can meet, and then be there early. 15 minutes early, 30 minutes early. Early is on time. Because a couple of things. One, if you're early, there's no way in hell you can be late. Number 2, if you're early and you tell them you're early, 1, it's a good sign for them, but 2, they can probably take the appointment a little bit earlier. So you can get out and on with your day a little bit earlier. That's how I like to do it. Do not show up late. Do not give them a window. For me, I know that from my house to anywhere in LA, it's going to take me about an hour and a half. And I set all of my consultations where I can try to beat traffic, right? Because driving from here to LA at 6 in the morning is suicide. So I set my appointments at 10 o'clock. That's all my consultations are at 10 a.m. And then I'll say if I have another one in the afternoon, it's like at 2 o'clock. But I set it at 10 a.m. so I leave my house at 8 a.m. Now, I usually get there anywhere, it takes me maybe an hour and 15 to an hour and 30, depending on how the day's going with traffic. But I'm always there early regardless, right? That extra 30-minute buffer gives me time, if there's really bad traffic or a really bad accident, I can reroute and still show up on time. But that's what I do. I leave 2 hours early to get to my consults. Now, if you're local and you don't have to do that, fine. Leave 30 minutes early, whatever. But if you know you have to drive and you need to be in an appointment at 10 o'clock, leave early. Just leave early. It's simple. And early is on time. Always remember that. Early is on time. On time is late, right? On time is late. Let that be your mantra. So, number 5. Once you get to the appointment, right? Number 5 is the Columbo or the Socratic method, and it's really the method of asking questions. I've heard from homeowners over and over and over again. I had this contractor come in and he just told me what he wanted to do. Oh my gosh, the dude's not living there, right? So why is he telling the homeowner what he wants to do? This is about the homeowner. They're spending the money and they're living in this house. This is all about the homeowner. So the Socratic method or the Columbo method is one in which you take the knowledge that you already have, right? Take that knowledge, put it into the form of questions, and just ask and listen. Ask and listen. Ask your question, write down the answer. If you have a follow-up question to the answer that they just gave you, ask that question and then write down that answer, right? And continue through this. We have a form where we have all of our questions, where we need to get everything we need, right? Moving walls, how big are the walls, what kind of backsplash, what kind of countertops, cabinets, flooring, do they need demo, blah, 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 blah. We have this form with all these pre-filled out questions. Now, there's always going to be a variation, right? So just keep your eyes peeled, but at least have the same questions over and over and over again. Because if your company takes off, right, you blow up, you're going to start needing systems. You can't freestyle anything. You need systems in place. You need to be able to duplicate. If you become the sales master, you need to be able to duplicate your mastery with this form. That way you could hire somebody on the street for minimum wage and they could sell the kitchen based upon this form alone, right? So use your knowledge, ask the questions, write down the answers, take a notepad, and really fill out that notepad, right? Take down those answers, because when you're handing it over to your designer or to your estimator, the more details you have, the better to give better pricing. That way you're not screwed out of money at the end of the job, you're not losing out on profit, or you run out of money and you can't even finish the project because now you have to ask the client for more money and you screwed up, right? More details, the better. I don't know how many times I gotta drill that into everybody's head. Get as much detail as you possibly can. It'll make your life easier, trust me. But ask those questions, get those answers, use your knowledge to kind of guide the client through the process in the form of questions. It's very, very simple. And the other thing that it does is it builds rapport, right? Because now instead of you forcing your opinion on them, they're feeling as though, this guy really cares about me and cares about my kitchen. He wants to know what I want. That's the key. You want to know what they want, and they can see that and they can sense that. And if you walk in with the right mindset, as if they're already closed and this is you just taking their order and everything's comfortable, now you're building real rapport, you're building real connection. And then number 6 ties into that rapport building is paying attention, right? So look around the neighborhood when you're driving up. Check out the house. Look at the cars they drive. Look at the license plate covers, right? Did they go to school somewhere? Do they work somewhere? Rather be fishing, right? Like, find out, pay attention. When you walk into the house, pay attention to the furniture they have. Pictures on the wall. Do they have kids? Do they travel? Find out how long they've lived in the neighborhood. Just really take a look around and be observant and absorb your client, right? You want to know who they are and you want to serve them as best as you possibly can. And the only way you can serve them at that kind of level is knowing who they are and knowing exactly what they need. So with that paying attention thing comes more questions. Now, these are questions that you're going to ask when there's that awkward silence. Let's say you ask them a construction question and they give you a long drawn out answer and it's got a lot of detail. Well, you're writing. Now, while you're writing, it's going to be quiet, right? You're writing, it's quiet. During that quiet time, so how long have you guys lived in the neighborhood? Oh, nice. How do you guys like it? Easy, right? Very easy. You're building rapport. Now you're asking about their personal life, their personal likes. Do they love their neighborhood? Do they hate it? You know, you're wanting to get to know them. It's like the approach of going after the opposite sex. When you meet somebody new, ask them questions. That's how you close the deal every single time, because people want to talk about themselves. So, especially with men to women, man, if you want to get the smoking chick at the bar that everybody's intimidated by, 1, nobody's approaching her because they're intimidated, but 2, ask her questions. Just ask questions about herself, get to know her, serve first before they reciprocate with their money or with the date. If you're, the dating game, it's another video, but it makes sense. Ask those questions first. So you've got, how long have you lived here? How do you like the neighborhood? How many kids do you guys have? Look around, see if they have kids. Most of the time you can hear them. If it's a newborn, they're probably carrying them. Or if they're at school, there's probably pictures around, or, the kids have drawn things or whatever. So how many kids do you guys have? They go to school in the neighborhood. Nice. How do you guys like the school? Nice. Perfect. Cool. And just keep asking questions like that. And then one of the more important questions you can ask in passing is, so you're writing down your answer and you're like, so do you guys work close to home? That's something that you really want to know what they do. 1, you can determine your budget based upon that. 2, you can determine how much of a pain in the ass this client may or may not be, right? So, yeah, I work close to home. I work 3 blocks away. Oh, nice. What do you do? Just like that. Very simple, very calm. Oh, nice. What do you do? If they're a lawyer, if they're an engineer, if they're an architect, an ex-contractor, they're going to be harder to deal with. And you're just going to have to swallow that fact. If you want the job and the money is there, I normally charge a headache fee, right? Engineers, lawyers, architects, ex-contractors, I bump up the fee because I know that there's going to be some work here. Right? It's going to be a lot of work, and they're going to want me to be detail oriented rather than if I'm going into a house that's, for somebody that's an artist, let's say they're a painter, they're not really that detail oriented. They just want the final look. They want it to look amazing. They want the experience. They don't care about the numbers and that, each cabinet doesn't have an 1/8 of an inch reveal. They don't care. But those are the people that I look out for. But it allows you, that question, asking what they do comfortably like that, lets you know, again, how much you can probably get off this bid and the type of client they're going to be and what you're going to have to put up with and what you can expect during this project. It's a very important question. I try to ask it at every single consult, and it works, right? So, the last thing is the close. So what you want to do is, at the end of the consult, I go through the list, right? So I've got this, very similar to a drive-through at a fast food restaurant. Did I miss anything else? No, I think you got it. Okay, cool. So give me a few days, probably about 3 to 5 days, for us it's to put some drawings together and to put some numbers together. And then I'll send you the drawings first, and once you approve the drawings, then I'll finalize the numbers, and then we can take it from there. And you know, if you approve on the bid, then we can start talking about scheduling construction, payment schedules, all that fun stuff, and we'll get you set up. That's how I close the deal. And then I say my goodbyes and I walk out. The other part of the close is following up, right? Really doing what you said you're going to do. If you're going to get them drawings in 3 to 5 days, get them the freaking drawings in 3 to 5 days. If you're going to get the numbers in 3 to 5 days, get them the numbers in 3 to 5 days. Don't take forever and a day to get it done. Get it done immediately, right? Whoever, if you're doing it or your estimator's doing it, just get it done. Make sure it gets done quickly, right? And then follow up. Send the stuff you need to send. If you're sending drawings like us, follow up on the drawings, you know, the same day or the next day. Hey, so what do you think about the drawings? And they're going to tell you, hey, I want to change this, 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 or nothing. I love it. What's the price? Perfect. Then you send over the bid. And it's that simple. But follow up. Make sure you present a clear offer. Keep your promises. Do not overpromise and underdeliver. It'll kill you every single time. Make sure you underpromise and overdeliver. That's how you create a raving fan, and that's how you create referrals, right? Underpromise, overdeliver. Very simple. And then assume the sale. The entire process, assume the sale, right? When I send over a bid, I'll call and I'll follow up and I say, hey, you know, I just sent the bid. Wanted to take a minute to go over it with you to find out if you had any questions. Okay, great. Now that we've gone through the questions, how soon would you guys like to start? We're booked out about 3 weeks, so about what's your timetable on this? And I just continue asking questions as if the sale has already been made. Even though I don't have a check in my hand, right? I still carry the process, the entire process. Because remember, I started this with mindset. So the entire process is assuming that the sale has already been made, right? And that's it. Those are my 7 steps for mastering the sales process, you know, when you're doing in-home consults for the remodeling niche. I know there's a lot of detail that I skipped, and I can probably go into each step a little bit deeper, which I will in time. But this is just kind of a condensed version of what we do and what I do every single time I go out for a consultation. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got some value from it. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment section below this video. Subscribe. I'm going to continue putting out more trainings. I'm going to try to pump out as much valuable information as I can over this next year. But subscribe, comment, like, share the videos. You know, if you got value, share it with your team. Make sure everybody's on the same page, right? So again, thank you so much for your time. Thanks for watching the video. This is Matthew Hamill with Local Contractor Blueprint, and I hope you have a phenomenal day.